Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. 6 months can change everything, not 6 years, not a lifetime, just 6 months of absolute focus, discipline, and faith. Most people underestimate what they can do in half a year, but overestimate what they'll someday do when the timing is perfect. The truth, there's no perfect time. There's only now. You don't need a miracle. You need momentum. If you give yourself 6 months, fully committed, not halfway, and you'll shock yourself, your friends, and maybe even your family, because transformation doesn't require permission. It requires decision. For 6 months, shut out the noise. Turn your distractions into destruction for your old habits. Build a routine that aligns with your purpose, not your comfort. You can't keep praying for change while staying the same. Listen to me. 6 months can change everything. Not 6 years, not some distant future, not when things finally line up perfectly. I'm talking about 6 months of real focus, real work, real belief, and real discipline. Most people spend their whole life waiting for the right time to begin. They keep telling themselves, when I have more money, I'll start. When I have more time, I'll focus. When things settle down, I'll commit. But the truth is, things never settle down on their own. The world doesn't pause to let you get it together. You have to decide right now that the next 6 months will be the season when everything shifts, because nothing changes until you do. If you make a decision today that for the next 6 months you are going all in, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, you will surprise yourself. You will see things you never thought were possible start unfolding. The reason most people never experience real transformation is because they keep trying to change everything around them without changing the person within. 6 months of pure focus can do more for your life than 6 years of scattered effort. The difference isn't time, it's intensity. You can do in half a year what others can't do in a decade if your focus becomes your obsession. For the next 6 months, you can't afford to entertain distraction. You can't keep listening to people who have no fruit in their life. You can't keep wasting hours scrolling, gossiping, complaining, and wondering why your situation looks the same. You've got to silence the noise. You've got to build a personal environment that protects your energy. You can't grow in toxic soil. You've got to plant yourself where faith, focus, and action are the nutrients feeding your mind. When you change the input, the output automatically shifts. 6 months of pure commitment means you decide that every single day has a purpose. You wake up on mission. You work on your craft like your destiny depends on it. You study every day like your future is on the line, because it is. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving yourself the luxury of excuses. You tell yourself, I'm doing this now. I'm not waiting until I feel ready. I'm not waiting for someone to approve it. I'm moving. And every day you do it, even when it's uncomfortable, you start building momentum. Momentum doesn't come from motivation, it comes from movement. The more you move, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the more consistent you stay. For 6 months, let your focus become your fortress. Let your habits become your weapon. Every decision either builds your future or buries your potential. You cannot pray for change and live like you don't want it. You cannot say you want abundance and still operate in scarcity. You cannot talk about purpose and live without discipline. The next 6 months are about alignment. Your actions must match your ambitions. The person you want to become is already inside you. But that version only comes alive through consistency. You've got to see the version of yourself 6 months from now and start living as that person today. If you want to be fit, move like someone who already respects their body. If you want wealth, think like someone who already manages their money with wisdom. If you want peace, live like someone who already guards their mind. Because transformation isn't an event, it's a choice repeated daily. You're not waiting on opportunity. Opportunity is waiting on you to become the kind of person who can handle it. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you are training your spirit to lead your emotions. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you are rewiring your identity. The world starts responding differently to the person who knows exactly what they're doing. You'll begin to attract people, ideas, and doors that match your new energy. That's what happens when you commit. The universe aligns with your effort. The discipline you build becomes the foundation of your destiny. 6 months of focus can destroy decades of doubt. It can replace confusion with clarity, weakness with strength, fear with faith. But it starts with a decision, one bold moment where you say, enough. I'm not staying here. I'm not settling for average. I'm done living below my potential, because the real enemy isn't lack of opportunity. It's the lack of focus. Every time you delay, you drift further from the person you're meant to be. Every time you procrastinate, you're choosing comfort over calling. If you can give yourself 6 months where you refuse to quit, refuse to complain, refuse to compromise, you will not recognize yourself on the other side. People will ask what happened to you, but it won't be luck. It will be discipline. It will be alignment. It will be grace meeting action. This is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Because consistent Focused action over time turns ordinary people into extraordinary examples. 6 months is enough to change everything. If you decide you're done waiting and start becoming, you don't need more motivation, you need momentum. Motivation feels good for a moment, but momentum changes everything. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes like the weather. But momentum is spiritual. It moves through you and keeps going even when you're tired, even when nobody is clapping, even when you don't see results yet. The reason most people never finish what they start is because they depend on feelings to do what only discipline can sustain. If you want to change your life, you've got to build momentum, and the only way to build it is through consistent movement. Momentum doesn't begin with big wins. It starts with small daily decisions. The first rep, the early morning, the late night work session, the one more phone call when you're ready to quit. That's how momentum begins. The problem is most people stop moving because they don't see instant results. They confuse lack of visible progress with lack of growth. But the seed doesn't show signs of life the day it's planted. It grows in silence, and so do you. Momentum builds in the dark before it shines in the light. Every quiet day of effort, every small act of discipline, every step forward when no one's watching is a brick in the foundation of your future. When you start moving, something powerful happens. You begin to shift your identity. The person who takes small steps daily eventually becomes the person who can take giant leaps effortlessly. But you can't skip the small steps. They're what make the big steps possible. When you honor the process rewards you with progress. The more consistent your movement, the more unstoppable your momentum. You begin to notice that resistance starts to fade, that fear gets quieter, that procrastination loses power. That's not because life got easier. It's because you got stronger. You trained yourself to move regardless of mood. You can't wait for motivation to show up before you start working. You must start working so motivation has a reason to show up. Every time you take action, you prove to your mind that you are serious. Every time you follow through, your faith grows stronger. And once you start building momentum, life starts responding differently to you. People start showing up who align with your purpose. Opportunities start appearing that match your effort. It's not coincidence. It's momentum. The energy you release through consistent action attracts results that match your level of movement. Momentum is like a flywheel. At first, it's hard to push. It feels slow, heavy, and frustrating. But if you keep applying steady pressure, it starts to spin faster, and soon it takes less energy to keep it moving. That's what happens in your life when you stay consistent. The first days are the hardest, the middle is uncomfortable, but eventually you cross over into ease. The habits that once felt difficult become natural. The work that once drained you starts to energize you. That's the reward of momentum. It multiplies effort. It turns one step of progress into 10. It turns one win into a wave of victories. People often ask, how do I stay consistent? You don't need to stay motivated. You just need to keep your word to yourself. When you say you'll do something, do it. When you set a goal, move toward it every single day. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust in your own character, and that trust becomes fuel for momentum. You stop doubting whether you can because you've already proven that you will. Your confidence doesn't come from hype, it comes from evidence. The evidence of daily discipline, the proof of personal growth. Momentum doesn't tolerate excuses, it only respects movement. When you say, I'll start tomorrow, momentum dies. When you say, I'll push through today, momentum grows. Every time you choose progress over comfort, you strengthen the force that's carrying you forward. The secret to momentum is not speed, it's direction. You don't have to move fast, you just have to move in the right direction long enough to see results, because slow progress in the right direction still beats fast progress toward nowhere. The most successful people in the world don't wake up every day inspired. They wake up disciplined. They understand that momentum carries them further than motivation ever could. When they don't feel like showing up, they show up anyway because they know every day they move is another day they can't lose. They know momentum compounds. It multiplies energy, effort, and results. That's why they guard their habits. That's why they protect their focus. That's why they stay moving. Momentum doesn't come from waiting for the right conditions. It comes from creating them. You start with what you have, where you are, and you move. And as you move, you gain clarity. The path becomes visible only to those who walk it. The ones who stand still never see what's ahead because vision grows in motion. You can't steer a parked car, and you can't direct a life that's not moving. You have to move for the direction to reveal itself. The next 6 months can be the most transformative of your life if you focus not on staying motivated, but on staying in motion. You can build momentum so powerful that it carries you through seasons where others quit, but it begins with one simple choice: to move, to stay moving, and to never let your emotions dictate your execution. Once you understand that motivation is temporary but momentum is eternal, you stop waiting to feel ready and start acting like you already are. Faith fuels focus. When you believe the outcome is already yours, you stop hesitating, you stop second guessing, you move differently. Most people lose focus because they don't truly believe what they're chasing is possible. They want to see proof before they believe, but real faith doesn't work that way. Faith is believing without seeing, moving without knowing every step, trusting the process when it doesn't make sense yet. You can't stay focused on what you doubt because doubt divides the mind. Focus is power, but faith is the fuel that keeps that power burning. When you believe deeply enough, distraction loses its appeal. When your spirit is certain, your mind becomes steady. Faith gives you vision when circumstances look empty. It's the ability to say, I don't see it yet, but I know it's happening. You move forward with that inner conviction, not because everything around you looks right, but because everything within you feels aligned. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who settle. Those who succeed see through faith what others can't yet see through sight. Faith gives you focus because it locks your attention on the promise, not the problem. It keeps your eyes on where you're going instead of what you're going through. When you have faith, you stop needing constant validation. You don't need everyone to agree with you because your conviction is stronger than their doubt. Faith doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't ask for proof. It acts on belief. And when you act in faith long enough, results begin to appear that others call luck. But it wasn't luck. It was the unseen power of belief turning into evidence. Faith creates focus because it teaches you to ignore the noise. The moment you start doubting yourself, the noise gets louder. The moment you start believing again, the noise fades away. Focus follows faith like shadow follows light. You can't build something lasting if you're always questioning whether it's possible. You have to believe before the evidence shows up. You have to commit before the applause comes. Faith keeps you moving when logic says stop. It reminds you that just because it's taken time doesn't mean it's not working. Every delay is developing you. Every setback is shaping you. Faith gives you the patience to persist and the vision to endure. Without faith, focus is fragile. It breaks at the first sign of failure. But when your faith is firm, your focus becomes unbreakable. Faith doesn't make life easy, but it makes it possible. It gives you the strength to keep going when your emotions want to quit. It reminds you that your future is bigger than your frustration. When you start your day believing that you're built for greatness, you handle challenges differently. You stop reacting to problems and start responding with purpose. You understand that every obstacle is part of your preparation. Faith turns pressure into purpose because it gives you a reason to keep pressing forward. When faith fuels focus, your actions become consistent. You no longer chase every opportunity. You commit to the right one. You stop moving from idea to idea because you're anchored by belief. Faith creates stability in a world full of distractions. It becomes your compass when everything around you feels chaotic. You can't see wind, but you can feel its direction. Faith works the same way. You might not see how everything connects yet, but you feel the pull guiding you forward. The stronger your faith, the clearer your focus. You can't have strong focus and weak faith at the same time. If your belief wavers, your attention scatters. That's why people get started with energy but end with excuses. They lose focus because they lose faith. They start questioning if their dream was even meant for them. But the dream was never the problem. The doubt was. Faith doesn't deny reality. It just refuses to be ruled by it. You can acknowledge the challenge and still believe in victory. You can recognize the problem and still focus on the promise. That's the mindset that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Faith is the engine behind every great achievement. Before every success story, there was someone who believed when no one else did. Before every breakthrough, there was a season of blindness where belief was the only guide. That's what fuels focus, the confidence that even though you can't see the full picture, the picture is still being painted. You move forward step by step, knowing that each action taken in faith draws the vision closer to reality. When you combine faith and focus, you become dangerous to doubt. You stop wasting time on fear-based thinking. You stop comparing yourself to others because you know your lane is designed for you. Faith keeps your focus internal on your growth, your progress, your calling. You no longer chase validation from people who can't see your vision. You stop explaining what only experience can reveal. You walk in quiet certainty while others wait for external signs. Faith whispers, keep going when everything else screams, give up. Faith isn't just believing in something greater. It's believing that you're part of that greatness. When that belief becomes real to you, your focus becomes razor sharp. You stop drifting. You start deciding. You move with conviction instead of confusion. The distractions that used to pull you away start losing their grip because your purpose is louder. Faith is not passive. It's powerful. It's the inner agreement between you and your destiny that says, no matter what it looks like, I know where I'm going. And that belief becomes the foundation of every move you make. New habits bring new results. You can't create a new life with the same routines that built the old one. Every habit you keep either pulls you toward your purpose or pushes you back toward your past. Most people want change, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They want new outcomes, but they cling to old patterns. You can't expect progress while protecting your excuses. If your habits don't align with your goals will never materialize. Change begins the moment you decide that who you've been is no longer enough for where you're going. Habits are not small things. They are silent architects of your destiny. Every decision you make, every routine you repeat, every moment you waste builds a pattern that either serves you or sabotages you. You don't need a big plan to change your life. You need a few powerful habits executed with consistency. People fail not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't do what they know long enough to see results. They quit before the new habit becomes their new identity. Every time you repeat an action, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. If you keep voting for the old you, don't be surprised when the old results show up again. When you start building new habits, your old self will resist. Your mind will fight for comfort. Your emotions will argue for convenience. Your body will crave what's familiar, but you can't let temporary discomfort stop permanent transformation. The pain of growth is always lighter than the weight of regret. If you can push through the first few weeks of resistance, you'll find rhythm on the other side of discipline. That's when your habits start carrying you instead of you carrying them. What felt like effort becomes instinct, and that's when the new results begin to appear. The difference between the average and the exceptional is not talent, it's consistency. The average person works when they feel like it, but the exceptional one works until it's done. Habits turn effort into excellence. When you build the right habits, success becomes predictable. You don't have to chase motivation because your system sustains you. You know when to wake up, how to move, what to focus on, and when to rest. You no longer depend on emotion. You depend on structure. Structure creates freedom. The stronger your habits, the less chaos controls you. Every day is a chance to practice your future. The small decisions you make daily are the training ground for your destiny. If you want to be disciplined, act disciplined. If you want to be confident, act confident. If you want to be wealthy, act like a good steward of what you already have. You don't wait to become successful to build successful habits. You build successful habits to become successful. What you repeat becomes what you believe, and what you believe becomes who you are. Habits rewrite identity from the inside out. It's easy to say you want change. It's harder to do what change requires. That's why so many people stay stuck. They wait for inspiration instead of building routine. The truth is, transformation is boring before it becomes beautiful. It's repetition that builds results, not intensity. The power isn't in what you do once in a while. It's in what you do daily without negotiation. The world rewards those who keep showing up long after the excitement fades. Every time you follow through, you teach yourself that your word has weight. Every time you skip, you teach yourself that comfort is more important than commitment. You have to stop identifying with your old patterns. Stop saying, that's just how I am. That's how you were. Who you are becoming is someone who chooses discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, consistency over comfort. The old version of you can't come with you where you're going. You've got to bury the habits that buried your potential. If you want to see different results, you must start acting like a different person right now. The future you're praying for requires a different pattern of behavior today. Your habits determine your horizon. They decide how far you rise and how fast you grow. The higher you want to climb, the stronger your foundation must be. That foundation is built in the unseen hours, the times no one is watching, the days you choose discipline over delay. Every morning you wake up and do what's necessary instead of what's easy, you lay another brick in the structure of success. Over time, those bricks form character, and that character sustains everything you build. Without strong habits, success collapses under pressure. Transformation is not about intensity, it's about identity. You can't fake new results with old routines. The moment your daily actions begin to match your desired outcome, your life starts to shift. You begin to notice your energy changing, your confidence growing, your perspective expanding. Habits are proof of belief. They show what you truly value, not just what you say you value. You can't claim to want greatness and live with laziness. You can't speak about success while practicing inconsistency. Your habits will always expose your priorities. When you build the right habits, your future becomes predictable. You no longer wonder if it will happen. You know it will because your routine is built to make it inevitable. Success becomes the natural result of your system. You stop waiting for miracles and start producing them through discipline. The world will call it luck, but you'll know it was the fruit of daily obedience. Change your habits, and you change your outcomes. Change your routines and you change your reality. Change what you do every day and you change who you are becoming. You have to become before you receive. Most people spend their lives waiting for opportunities instead of preparing for them. They want blessings without becoming the kind of person who can carry them. They pray for promotion while still practicing procrastination. They ask for abundance while managing lack. The truth is, life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're ready for. You don't attract what you wish for. You attract what you are. If you want your life to expand, you must first expand yourself. Every breakthrough begins with a becoming. Becoming means alignment. It means your thoughts, words, and actions start moving in the same direction. You can't say you want success and keep doing what sabotages it. You can't speak abundance and live in scarcity. You can't pray for growth while practicing stagnation. The universe doesn't respond to mixed signals. It responds to clarity. When your identity and your intention finally agree, doors start opening that used to stay closed. You stop chasing opportunity because opportunity starts chasing you. You evolve into someone whose presence attracts progress naturally. You can't skip the process of becoming. Everyone wants the reward, but few are willing to handle the refinement. The process is uncomfortable because it reveals what still needs to change. You can't become the next version of yourself without shedding the current one. You'll lose habits, people, and mindsets that no longer fit your future. That's not punishment, it's preparation. The new version of you cannot grow in the same environment that built the old one. Every level demands a different version of discipline, mindset, and belief. You can't bring old energy into new opportunities. When you start focusing on who you're becoming, results stop being temporary. The reason some people rise fast and fall faster is because they never became stable enough to sustain what they received. Getting success is one thing, keeping it requires identity. If you become a millionaire in mindset before you become one in money, you'll keep it. But if money comes before maturity, it leaves the same way it came. Your results are always a reflection of your readiness. The more you grow, the more you can hold. Becoming isn't about pretending to be something you're not. It's about uncovering what you've always been. Every challenge you face is designed to reveal the strength inside you. Pressure doesn't build weakness, it exposes potential. That's why difficult seasons are so valuable. They show you who you can be when comfort is gone. When you keep showing up, when you keep believing, when you keep growing, you start stepping into the version of yourself that life has been calling out of you. You don't wait for the future to arrive. You become it. Every dream demands development. You can't expect big doors to open if your character can't fit through them yet. Preparation isn't punishment. It's protection. The time it takes to become is the time that builds the foundation for everything that's coming. Sometimes you're delayed not because you're denied, but because you're still in development. You're being equipped with the patience, discipline, and wisdom to handle what you've been asking for. If it came too soon, it would crush you. But when you become strong enough to carry it, it will come naturally. Becoming requires faith because the version of you that can handle your dream doesn't exist yet. You have to build that version day by day through consistency and conviction. You have to practice the habits of the person you're becoming before the results show up. If you want to lead, start serving. If you want abundance, start managing what you already have with excellence. If you want respect, start showing up with integrity when no one is watching. Becoming is not about waiting until things are perfect. It's about practicing purpose in the middle of imperfection. The people who achieve lasting transformation are the ones who understand that growth is not something you get. It's someone you become. You stop asking for shortcuts when you realize the process is the blessing. Every delay is refining you. Every obstacle is strengthening you. Every failure is teaching you. You're not behind, you're being built. The old you is designed to survive. The new you is being shaped to succeed. The longer you resist the process, the longer it takes to evolve into the person capable of receiving what's already yours. The moment you decide to focus on becoming instead of receiving, your energy shifts. You stop chasing validation and start building value. You stop worrying about timing and start mastering preparation. The reward doesn't make you ready. Readiness brings the reward. You can't fake maturity. You can't skip growth. You can't hide behind hope if your habits don't match it. Becoming means you take responsibility for your transformation. You realize no one is coming to save you. It's your mindset, your consistency, your faith that will save you. When you start operating as the person you're becoming, life begins to mirror that identity. You speak differently, move differently, decide differently. Opportunities that once intimidated you now feel natural because you've grown into someone who belongs there. You stop forcing doors open and start fitting the locks. You understand that success isn't something you chase, it's something you align with. The work you do on yourself becomes the magnet that draws everything meant for you closer. You don't need to chase what you're destined to receive. You just need to become who's ready to hold it. 6 months can redefine who you are, but only if you go all in. Transformation doesn't come from trying harder for a few days. It comes from committing deeper for a season. You can't change everything overnight, but you can change your direction today. Every major shift begins with a small decision. To stop waiting, stop wishing, and start working. When you give yourself 6 months of complete focus, you'll discover that what looked impossible starts becoming inevitable. Most people underestimate what they can do in a short time with consistency and overestimate what they'll do someday when things are perfect. The truth is, someday never comes. 6 months of deliberate action can change your finances, your mindset, your relationships, your body, and your entire sense of identity. 6 months of focus means you stop living on autopilot. You stop reacting to life and start designing it. Every single day becomes intentional. You start asking, is this moving me closer to where I want to be? And if the answer is no, you cut it off. You begin to realize that time is wealth, and how you spend it determines the value of your life. When you remove distractions, you gain direction. When you silence the noise, you start hearing your own vision clearly. The next version of your life is hidden in the next 6 months of your discipline. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. The first month is always the hardest. You'll want to quit. You'll feel uncomfortable because your old habits are fighting for survival. Your brain will try to pull you back to what's familiar because familiarity feels safe. But growth never happens in safety. You have to remind yourself daily why you started. You have to move even when it's inconvenient. Every time you push through resistance, you build strength. Every time you choose progress over procrastination, you build power. Momentum is built in the moments you could have stopped but didn't. By the second month, you'll start seeing signs of change. You'll feel more disciplined, more focused, more aligned. Your energy will shift because your actions and intentions are finally moving in the same direction. The people who doubted you will notice something different. They may not understand it, but they'll feel it. You'll realize that success isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things repeatedly. You stop chasing results and start chasing refinement. The results will follow. You'll begin to trust yourself again, and that trust becomes your superpower. By the third month, your discipline starts to turn into identity. What used to feel like effort becomes natural. You no longer have to force yourself to do the work because the work has become who you are. You'll wake up with purpose instead of pressure. The same habits that once drained you now drive you. That's the moment when change becomes real, not because the world looks different, but because you do. You'll look back and realize that the hardest part wasn't the work, it was deciding to start. Once you made the decision, the process began to unfold. By the fourth month, clarity begins to arrive. You start recognizing what truly matters. You stop overcommitting, stop people pleasing, and start protecting your priorities. You understand that not everyone is meant to go where you're going, and that's okay. Growth requires separation. You can't take old mindsets into a new season. You'll learn to value peace over popularity and progress over comfort. Your circle may shrink, but your purpose will expand. The fewer distractions you entertain, the faster you move. You'll find yourself spending more time creating, reading, praying, planning, and working, not because you have to, but because it feels right. By the fifth month, results begin to compound. What once took all your effort now happens with ease. You'll notice physical changes, emotional stability, financial growth, mental clarity. Everything starts to align because you've spent months aligning yourself. The small wins begin stacking, and suddenly you've built momentum that's hard to stop. You'll realize that success isn't a secret, it's a system. Consistency is the currency of change, and you've been paying the price daily. You'll also notice that opportunities start finding you. That's the reward of focus. When you stop chasing everything, the right things start chasing you. By the sixth month, you won't even recognize the old you, not because life magically became easier, but because you became stronger. The same problems that used to overwhelm you now look like opportunities to grow. You'll start thinking differently, speaking differently, and walking differently. Your energy will carry quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything because it's already proven. You'll realize that transformation was never about time, it was about intention. 6 months of purpose-driven living can erase years of stagnation. The difference between the person who transforms and the person who stays stuck isn't luck or talent, it's commitment. You can either let the next 6 months pass like the last 6, or you can decide right now that this will be your turning point. Every day you wake up, you're casting a vote for your future self. The question is, which version are you voting for? You already have the potential. You just need to apply the pressure. You already have the vision. You just need the discipline to stay on path. 6 months from now, your habits will tell your story. They'll reveal whether you were serious about change or just talking about it. 6 months of full commitment means giving up the need for validation. It means saying no to distractions, no to laziness, no to doubt. It means waking up every day and reminding yourself that you have one life, and what you do with it is your responsibility. Every second you waste is a seed of regret planted in the soil of your potential. The clock is ticking whether you move or not. The difference is that when you move with purpose, the ticking becomes a rhythm of progress instead of a countdown to mediocrity. 6 months of focus can rebuild your life from the inside out. It can renew your confidence, restore your energy, and realign your destiny.